I love flexibility, and tech gives me that flexibility of working remotely and also able to do my business on the side.
I got into tech, honestly, because I was trying to look for a different change. I was teaching math for 7th graders for like 7 years, so.
I think tech is the future. It's the way that the world will transition, especially with this new generative AI. It's essentially going to trailblaze the way we do business, the way we do work life.
I got into tech because I wanted to create new solutions. The best thing about being in tech is you have a lot of people who want to reimagine the future.
So this is the Mecca, AfroTech, the largest tech conference for Black people all across the world. Over 25,000 Black project managers, program managers, engineers, and even people looking to break into tech come to this conference. They come here to get knowledge, to meet other people, to make great connections, and even sometimes to get jobs and make deals at this conference. And today, I'm talking to a couple of them to tease out how they got into tech, why they got into tech, how much they make now that they work in tech, to help you figure out how you can also start your own tech career. Why did you get into tech?
Honestly, I wasn't born hoping to get into tech. I wanted to be a doctor, but you know how life always just changes your path, and I started as a content creator, and then tech was just about, inventing and creating stuff, bringing out the creativity in me. And just bit by bit, I started being hands-on with tech, and that's how slowly I saw that, tech was a thing for me, because I just love being part of building stuff from the ground up and, creating stuff out of the brilliance of your mind. So that's why I got into tech.
I think it's a very lucrative field. There's something for everyone, and I like challenging problems, so I think it's a really good field if you want to challenge yourself, but also be fairly compensated. So that's kind of why I got into tech.
Honestly, I was teaching and I was tired of teaching, so I looked up some shit, Googled it, researched it, and was just like, I'm gonna try it out. It doesn't seem like a lot of meetings. I got to peel up with attitudes, so that's how I ended up in tech.
Probably Speed Racer when I was a kid. If y'all remember that first episode, the dad lost the whole design, everything. And then, everybody was all mad because they thought it was stolen. And the dad was like, I'm not tripping. He said, it's all in my head. And then, they sold all the designs, whatever. But probably Speed Racer. I'm a creator. I like to create.
So fun fact, I actually wasn't always in tech. I by trade, I'm a recruiter. But eventually what happened, I came to AfroTech, met somebody, and next thing you know, now I'm here.
I decided to get into tech because I always had a passion for it. I was actually originally a bio major, but I would always gravitate towards technology, even doing AP computer science in high school. So I was just like, this is a field I should stay in. And then from there, getting my computer science degree.
How about you?
I'm really interested in the way that we interact with technology, as well as just also how Black and brown folks kind of use social media and garner attention and interactivity on there. So I think right now I'm really interested in I don't know, tech, but also a very social impactful way of looking at it.
I got into tech for a lot of reasons. Two of the main reasons was technology itself. We're surrounded by technology, and we use it every day. And plus, I've seen a lot of my friends got into tech and how great they've been doing. So that's why I joined tech.
I liked math, and everyone was talking about computers, and I was like, okay, that's kind of mathy. And then it just kind of went from there. It's like puzzles, and I kind of like that.
Well, I got into tech because of the endless opportunities. I love flexibility, and tech gives me that flexibility of working remotely and also able to do my business on the side. So yeah, flexibility.
So got into tech really because my family didn't have a lot of the technologies I really loved to interact with as a kid. And I figured that if I couldn't have those things, maybe if I can build them, and if I build them, then I'd have them. But also knowing that tech was growing and emerging, and there was a lot of opportunity for getting paid, and we all love that. And so started off my tech career just really out of high school wanting to learn how to code, and that has kind of transitioned into me having the last 10 years of education and about 7 years or so in tech now.
I think tech is the future. It's the way that the world will transition, especially with this new generative AI. It's essentially going to trailblaze the way we do business, the way we do work life, the way we do home life in the near future.
I got into tech because I was previously in the healthcare space leading up into this point, and I noticed sort of lack of innovation, I think, in the way that we deliver products and services to our consumers, i.e. patients. And especially from a diversity and inclusion standpoint, there's a lack of diversity and inclusion in the healthcare space, especially when we think about how some of the innovations will impact the lives of Black and brown people. And so I felt there was an intersection between technology and healthcare, and I really wanted to be a part of that change and shift, and so tech was a great entryway to do so.
Honestly, I think I got introduced to computers early on, and I got interested in web development, and that's how I ended up in tech. And I think at some point I decided to learn and build something for my community, so that's my mission pretty much.
I got into tech because I wanted to create new solutions. The best thing about being in tech is you have a lot of people who want to reimagine the future. Building, growing, bettering is all I'm about. So that's why I found my home at Amazon. I've been there for 6 years.
Honestly, what's crazy is I worked in nonprofits first, like AmeriCorps. My master's is in nonprofit work, public policy. But honestly, tech was where it was. I had a friend that was an engineer, and she put me on, and here we are. Best decision I ever made.
To build generational wealth and follow a legacy.
I got into tech, honestly, because I was trying to look for a different change. I was teaching math for 7th graders for 7 years. So I think initially I was just looking to do something different. And then I found a great company to make the switch over to. And so it was a nice career jump.
Why did I get into tech? I got my bachelor's in maths. And after college, I wanted to figure out what I wanted to do. If I was going to go into accounting, finance, which is kind of finance, right? And probably be a lecturer, but because maths is kind of broad, right? So I say tech was the first thing I fell in love with. I was really good at computers. I was never a programmer, but I was good at fixing computers from scratch, opening up a computer, opening up the motherboard, fixing motherboard together, chipping, putting the chips together and all that. So I just figured I would do IT in general. So then I got into desktop support.
Okay. I got into tech because there's not a lot of people that look like me, first of all. I'm an amazing, dynamic Black woman, and most of the time we are hypervigilant, overqualified, but always ready to jump in and get any type of work done. So I wanted to be and see the thing that we need more of.
That is so dope, and that's on brand and on mission with the things that I care about. I really want to say a big shout out to everyone who stopped and spoke to us. I really appreciate it. As that being really useful to you, have you learned a thing or two about how you can also make that break into tech? If you have, let me know in the comments. And if you're also someone who's broken into tech and want to leave some advice for anyone who may be watching this, also leave it in the comments. Please like this video, share with your friend who this might help out, and subscribe because he helps me out. I definitely look forward to seeing you in the next video. Peace.